Hello everyone, this is Kelly Beard of KarmicTools.com, and this is your weekly forecast for August 15th through the 21st of 2021. So our week kicks off really on Sunday with the first quarter moon in Scorpio, which is kind of powerful. What we do on the first quarter moon is basically the first step of our Leo new moon intentions. So I'd be curious how things are going for you. But Monday, Venus moves into Libra until September 10th. So Venus, which represents values, priorities, resources, love, art, beauty, culture, in Libra, which represents balance, reciprocity, and relationships, among other things, is a time to restore balance within your being and to develop a new sense of self-worth and self-value. This is an opportunity to renegotiate terms of your primary relationships in order to determine what is no longer important to you while preparing to go deeper. If you align your priorities within your own being, as well as your primary relationships of now, then it will make the deep dive into the potent Scorpio energy even more productive and less debilitating. When Venus is in Libra, it is time to assess your priorities and reestablish balance with a cool head. Remember, Libra is an air sign. What's fair, just, and worth it for you by your own definition? It's time to take an honest look at how you, your life, and choices affect those closest to you. And you want to reflect on how effective your choices actually are or have been in attracting your heart's desires as well. Remember, Libra is the lesson of balance and reciprocity, which must be considered before taking the Scorpio lesson of karma and creation. Otherwise, you only create more karma and creations to clean up along the way. Venus will always remind you that you are what you attract, and you show the universe what you value by what you spend your primary resources on, which is your time, energy, and money. So use this time to recalibrate things in your Libra department and consciously look for new ways of relating. Deep breath. That's Monday. On Wednesday, Mercury is going to conjunct Mars. So this is really juicy, y'all, because it is the first of 3 hits. But these 3 hits are very special because each one is going to land in a different sign. So in August, here this week, August 18th, Mercury and Mars link up in Virgo. Then Mercury goes retrograde in Libra, hooks up with Mars in Libra in October, goes forward, makes its way through Libra, gets into Scorpio, and links up with Mars in Scorpio in November. So I think this is going to allow you to dive even deeper than usual into your heart's desire to really explore and reset each area of life, which means your Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio houses, which are being infused with new ideas, thoughts, and concepts to guide your choices and decisions going forward. Okay, that's so important to recognize this reset of your consciousness with who you are and what you want and your desires and your really what you're going after right now, here and now at this time with this unique energetic signature. So normally when these two get together, I have to preface with 2 things. One is that Mercury is involved, which is relatively a fast moving energy. And 2, when Mars is involved, being the lower version of power, Pluto being the higher version, reminds us that with power also comes responsibility. Now, all that said, the positive expression of this energy is that you can control your mind and direct it with passion, getting tangible results. This heightens your intellectual ability and mental capacity for better or worse. You will be able to clearly articulate your thoughts, and you should have quick, effective responses. If you maintain your integrity, this is an excellent time to fuel major creative expression. If this energy manifests its negative side, it can make you petty and combative, arguing over nonsense and wasting precious time and energy in ego control dramas. And if it's not coming from you, then it's just as possible to be coming at you from others. This is the best time to put your energy behind your thoughts, ideas, and words and get creative. The power of this pairing is that they are occupying the same space, essentially energizing each other and initiating a new cycle. So this is a new cycle of creative expression. That's why you want to sort of explore the possibilities in your Virgo, Libra, and Scorpio houses, because that's where Mercury is going to do the major reset. So just think about this. And this is going to play into my Mercury class, which you can sign up for at the bottom. I'm so excited. I finally got at least the registration page ready. This is our before, during, and after that we're going to actually cover with our 3-day class. The shadow period previous to the retrograde is when they link up in Virgo. So that means we're going to check in with what's practical, what's possible right now. How much can your system handle if you are wildly successful? We have to consider this right now, because if you're going for your passion and you are setting up to invite the world to join you, then you want to do your Virgo organization, foundational, behind the scenes setup so that you can handle the expansion that you're calling in. At the same time, you're going to be connecting and cultivating new ideas, thoughts, and concepts for your body and your health and your physical well-being on planet Earth. As an Earthling, you have to plug into Earth to recharge. When you're a robot, you can plug into electricity and recharge. When you're a computer, you can plug into electricity and recharge. We have to plug into the earth or some water or some fire or some air to recharge. And so this is a reset of all that and how you really think about how you're making your choices and what information and processes go into you making these new choices that are based on the new identity and purpose that's emerging from within you as we speak as well, right? So the precursor is to get organized, to get in your body, to figure out what you can and cannot do at this stage. Then Mercury is going to retrograde in Libra, link back up with Mars behind the scenes. So it's like, not only do we reset what you can do as an individual, but then we're going to go in and clear out and reset how we want to relate with others. What are our ideas of social situations now post-2020, post-COVID? And I know it ain't over, but you know what I mean. The other side of it, we have to choose new ways of interacting and relating with people. And at the same time, we need each other to co-create existence on the planet. We weren't brought to this planet to be isolated in a box in our houses, not breathing properly and not talking and dealing and hanging and playing and working and learning and exploring with others. That's just not natural for most human beings. And so there's a reset going on that you're going to want to consciously co-create with. And so as that reset happens, so just think of those two back to back, how juicy 1111 is going to be, because this link up at 1110 is right in that zone, y'all. And on the 10th, exactly, Saturn goes direct. But we're also just a couple days on the other side of the Libra new moon. So we're definitely resetting how we do all kinds of things. But when it gets to Scorpio, that's our most powerful creative force that we're capable of. What are you conceiving for the next 2 years at a minimum? Let's just look at it as a Mars cycle, since this is Mercury talking to Mars. What are you thinking about? What are the ideas, thoughts, and concepts rolling around in there that you want to develop into your power, your wisdom, your contribution that you are a channel for? That's what's going to really come up then, because Mars in Scorpio is very powerful. Mercury in Scorpio makes you psychic. So whatever you're connecting to at the time, and it's going to be ancestors' time, it's just going to be a powerful time right then to be calling in the new vision, the new story, the new containers, the new structures, the new foundations, because that's November, and that's probably right when Venus is going to get to Capricorn and take a pause for the cause for the early part of 22. She's reviewing Capricorn, helping us choose what to commit to, what to develop into fullness so that we can share it with others. What are the long-term goals that you're building toward? And when she does that, she's also asking us to create containers for all these magical ideas we've been exploring and all the possibilities of new relationships and interactions and education and soul work and healing and all the things that we do together as individuals and together in a group. That's all getting rebirthed. So you might as well get your vote in and get your ideas clarified, let's say. And I always say that when Mercury is retrograde and in that whole zone before, during, and after Mercury is retrograde in the fall is going to be a delicious time to be communing with your angels, ancestors, and animal spirit guides. The veils are thinner. Hopefully you'll be able to turn within a little more often and stay a little longer so that you can listen for what they're trying to tell you about your new year, about your new container, about the new routine that supports the new story you're telling. You know, it's all connected. And you've already been working on it, building piece by piece. So that is the serious sidebar of Mercury. If you all are reading the blog, you will see that that was a big off-road. I don't have that typed up, except for the little blurb to let you know that it's happening. But it's going to be a really juicy time, y'all. So stay tuned. Then on Thursday, Sun is going to oppose Jupiter. Now, you all know cycles and patterns are my thing. So once a year, Sun is going to link up and initiate with Jupiter in whatever sign it's in. And every year, it makes its way around in 6 months to be opposite Jupiter in some way. So at this point, this is kind of interesting because Jupiter has backed up into Aquarius for its final time in 12 years. It's going to spend the rest of this year in Aquarius. So this is a Leo-Aquarius integration zone that is so useful for grounding those departments of life, Leo, Aquarius, and Taurus, Scorpio. And I might as well interject here, if you missed the Leo Gate of Power, or you're interested in the Leo Heart Chakra Venus Circle, replay of the Venus Circle, I am happy to send those over with the post-call goodies. They are both super useful right now while we're still in the month of Leo. So this energy is a double-edged sword in that you may feel positive and optimistic, which is a good thing, but it is also prone to excess, which brings us to the philosophy of anything in moderation or balance in all things. That's what we would say anytime we're dealing with Jupiter, but definitely in an opposition, because this is when we swing to extremes anyway. Be positive, but be alert too. Beware of the urge to overdo it or overextend yourself on any level. Use this energy to tap into your courageous side and attempt something that you have avoided out of fear or doubt. There is a push-pull going on between your ego and your enthusiastic child within, which demands that you find a proper expression for this energy. Also beware of your enthusiasm provoking you to try to get others to see it from your point of view. You always have to be mindful of the fact that everyone is on their individual paths and may not be ready for what you're bringing, and that's okay. Focus this energy back on yourself and it will serve you well. This energy tends to bring out the self-righteousness in us, and that rarely leads where you're trying to go. What this energy is trying to tell us is that certain aspects of yourself and your spiritual development are coming to a head, and decisions need to be made which will affect your future. Pay attention and try to get the lessons and the blessings of whatever is happening this week, because it is trying to guide you to a new level, ready or not. Also keep in mind that it is an opposition, which always reminds us to watch for extremes and practice coming back into center. The truth is you are 6 months into something that requires some integration. If you stabilize now, you can expand your life in positive ways and with more ease and grace. So think of your Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio departments here. Okay, that's what's getting activated with this one. Same day, on the 19th, which is Thursday, we have Uranus retrograding in Taurus until January 18th of the new year, 2022. So this is a time when personal planets will interact with Uranus and Taurus in a similar way every year that we can consciously co-create with. And every year's annual retrograde is a special time to assimilate the changes you've been going through. Uranus is a collective planet and so affects many people and takes 7 years to accomplish its mission in each sign. It will awaken the Taurus department of life and stimulate any of your planets in Taurus, Scorpio, or Leo, Aquarius by default. Also, I'd say here and now is a good time to reflect on the liberating ordeal that you just went through over the last 7 years as it stimulated and awakened your Aries department, okay? So if you can make any connections, you can start to feel for the the positive way that Uranus wants to shake up our lives, right? The good things that came out of those shakeups in the Aries department over the last 7 years before it got here to Taurus. And it's a year or two in, so we're underway here in the Taurus department. But you'll hear me say how when you're in it, it's hard to know what's what. But once you get to the other side, now you can look back on all your Aries energy and see what got awakened over, let's say, the last 7 to 10 years. But now that it's truly into Taurus, you can start to reap the benefits and integrate the recent radical shifts that your identity and purpose, which is Aries department, have been through. And the focus and thus the lessons and blessings will now shift to the values and priorities, which is Taurus's department, that support that newly awakened emergent self and how that works on the ground, in your body, on the earth, in real time. Okay? So that's where we're at. We've awakened a new identity. With that comes new values and priorities, which means we have to radically shift things to be able to embody this purpose that we're calling in. So I do share an article from Stephen Forrest, who's a fellow astrologer, and he has just a really nice, short and sweet, layman's terms article on Uranus and Taurus, which also affects generations. It affects, big, large groups of people, and is a long-term evolution that we're going through, like a 7-year process, right? So that's good, extra bonus goodies. And then the 20th is Friday, when Mercury will trine Uranus. So this is lower mind and higher mind, but in an ease and grace. So this is even juicier, y'all. Think about that. This is so good. This is a really good week to tune into your own values and priorities and the ideas that you're working on, and really putting your stank on it, or beautifying them in some way, or upgrading or uplifting the vibration of them, of what you're offering, and all that. We're so supported right now to redream some things. And it's all personal, so it has to do with you. This activation gives you access to your higher mind and opens the way for new, deeper insights that can guide and direct you at this time. That is so great. Business as usual will not work. It's time to open up to the unusual. Do something different. Look at things from another angle and watch the ahas start pouring in. Your intuition will be firing on all cylinders. When these two get together, it's mental overload. So pace yourself, do some downtime away from screens and computers and phones and things like that, because this tends to make that worse. The trine also makes it easier to slip down those rabbit holes, so be mindful of that. Hopefully you're getting access to some unprecedented clarity, because that's usually what Uranus does. It wakes things up. While your thinking may lack discipline, your ability to access solutions to any recent or even long-standing challenges will be off the charts. This energy will not be contained, even though it is generally all mental. You really will have a hard time keeping up with the ideas, thoughts, concepts, and intuitions that come to you under this influence. So try to take notes that you can refer to later when the grounding will be necessary, okay? So we can open up to these messages. This is also a good time to commune with your invisible team and ask questions and try to clarify things, because, again, the veils are thinner, the doors are open, and they want to hear from you. Pay attention to the message that comes through or from others as well, since you never know how the universe will show up. This alone is an indication that whatever your consciousness may not have been previously ready to assimilate or process is awakening now to that which is just for you. Deep breath. So here is the registration link for my Mercury class. I have decided to do the first 3 Wednesdays in September. I'm looking at 8 p.m. Zooms on September 1st, 8th, and 15th. I will be offering this in the new year according to the signs that it will happen in. So the Mercury retrograde classes will be different every time, but I will offer them over and over. And I would also add that as I'm finishing up my first Astro 101 class that went really, really well, we will also be offering that again for those of you who wanted to join us in the Astro 101 class, but this timing didn't work. That's something else I'm going to offer probably 2 to 4 times a year. So as soon as I can work those dates into my calendar, I will announce the next go round, and hopefully it will line up with your schedule. So I want to thank everyone for being part of my community. Thank you all for those of you who always share my updates and my YouTubes. You can find my Karmic Tools YouTube channel with all of my weekly forecasts and little bonus goodies and divinations and story time, which has proven pretty popular on Instagram too. My handle is The Sacred Sandbox. And so Karmic Tools on YouTube, The Sacred Sandbox on Instagram. So reach out if you need to. Thank you so much for listening and have a fantastic week. This is Kelly Beard of Karmic Tools signing off.